The kind of lover that stays on your mind. See me wherever you go. Yeah, you want forever after just a night. You'll never leave it alone. Yeah, a permanent mark that won't fade away, but you can't erase me. I'm like a tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like a tattoo that's under your skin. So write my name in cursive, 'cause you'll never forget. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. You want my kisses to start at your neck, cover your body all over. Can't keep it hidden, I'm stuck in your head. But that's a permanent mark that won't fade away, but you can't erase me. I'm like a tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like a tattoo that's under your skin. So write my name in cursive, 'cause you'll never forget. Oh, no, baby, you'll never forget. Real love, you're getting your first one, and you like it. It's gonna hurt, but you can't run, so don't fight it. Real love, you're getting your first one, and you like it, and you like it. I'm like a tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like a tattoo that's under your skin. So write my name in cursive, 'cause you'll never forget. The kind of lover that stays on your mind. See me wherever you go. Yeah, you want forever after just a night. You'll never leave it alone. Yeah, a permanent mark that won't fade away, but you can't erase. Tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like The kind of lover that stays on your mind. See me wherever you go. Yeah, you want forever after just a night. You'll never leave it alone. Yeah, a permanent mark that won't fade away, but you can't erase me. I'm like a tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like a tattoo that's under your skin. So write my name in cursive, 'cause you'll never forget. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. You want my kisses to start at your neck, cover your body all over. Can't keep it hidden, I'm stuck in your head, but that don't mean that I'm yours. Yeah. A permanent mark that won't fade away, but you can't erase me. I'm like a tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like a tattoo that's under your skin. So write my name in cursive, 'cause you'll never forget. Oh no, baby, you'll never forget. Real love, you're getting your first one, and you like it. It's gonna hurt, but you can't run, so don't fight it. Real love, you're getting your first one, and you like it, and you like it. I'm like a tattoo that's over your heart. 'Cause once I put this love on you, it never comes off. I'm like a tattoo that's under your skin. So write my name in cursive, 'cause you'll never forget. The kind of lover that stays on your mind. See me wherever you go. Yeah, you want forever after just a night. You'll never leave it alone. Yeah.
Okay, hey, good morning guys. So welcome to the cybersecurity stream. So today in this stream, we are going to talk about how you do your assignment. So today is also the first day you will be receiving your training as a hacker lah. So I'll make this quick. I'll brief you on how you have, what kind of assignment this is, what you need to do, what kind of thing that you have to submit. And if you have any questions, you can just put it on the chat and then I'll answer all your questions about the assignment. Okay, of course, if you have further questions after this briefing, you can always send me an email and then I'll reply to you on what you need to do. So I have two good news here. I have two news here, in fact. So first, I have a good news and I have a better news. So the good news is this round for your assignment, it is called Capture the Flag. So this is totally something new. We have never done this before. So you are actually the first batch of students who are doing CDF assignment. Okay, and the better news is that you don't have to know anything coming into this assignment because I'll be streaming with you something like an extra class to help you to do your assignment if you think you need. Okay. Now, which is really cool because you know why we are doing this? Because if you haven't heard about this, Utah, you always see Utah is appearing on the news this day. We win so many competition, and it's not us, it's you lah. So this is why we want to start training all of you, and we will pick some of the good students to join us to go for competitions. Okay. So this is what we are going to do for the first part of this stream. I will explain the assignment, how you start the assignment. So over here, you can ask me anything about the assignment, of course, only about the assignment. And in the second part, I will also have a short, brief introductions about how you use the Linux command because I think that will be very useful for you to do this assignment lah. Okay. So let's start with your assignment here.
Now,
earlier, this round you'll be doing capture the flag, and of course you might need a good machine lah. So first thing is, if you don't have a good machine, you can always use the PC that we have in the lab. You can do a remote login. Okay. So what is a CDF assignment? You can think of this capture the flag as, I think you have played this treasure hunt game, right? So treasure hunt is okay, wait, I got echo. Okay, now I turn it off already. Sorry about that. It has been too long, I didn't stream. Okay, now, so capture the flag is like treasure hunt. Okay, means like you are given a puzzle and then you want to solve the puzzle. Of course, different challenge, the puzzle that you are looking for is different one. Okay, like when we are playing treasure hunt, maybe you want to find some secret thing that they bury or they hide it somewhere. So in CDF, the treasure that we are actually trying to find is called flags. Okay, so of course this CDF that you have right now, the assignment is there are 6 parts to this assignment now. So that means all of you will make up a team, find your own crew member, and one team is 4 members. Okay, now I don't know how you want to divide the task, it is up to you, but one thing you should know is this CDF here, it is progressive. Progressive means that this challenge that you will see later on, they are step by step one. Means that you have to solve step 1, and then you solve step 2, and then you solve step 3. Okay, you cannot say, okay, you go and do step 1, and then I do step 2, and then I do step 3, and then you combine. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it is not like your programming assignment that you can do that. If you do that, then you will see something like this. Your assignment will be something like this, which is not going to work. Okay, because you need to get the input from step 1, and then you go to do step 2 and step 3. Okay, so coming back to CDF. Now, instead of telling you what is CDF, right now let me show you one example about how CDF works, and then we can try this together, and I will show you what exactly we are looking for. So first thing, you should know that if you go through your assignment here, there are this line called the flag formats. Okay, so the flag formats is your answer for the assignment. So in your assignment, how do you get the marks? There are two things. First, you have to show us the flag value. Of course, means that if you have this value here, it means you have already found the puzzle. You found the hidden flag, and that means you are a hacker. Now, if you after you find this thing, you also have to show us how you find it. That is the second thing you have to do. Okay, so over here you see what it means by is having this flag format. It means that later on, all the flags that you can find, I hope you can find, they will have this kind of flag, this format. Okay, so all flag here will have this format, and then this is the value, and that is where you will put in what you find later when you are doing your assignment. Okay, so right now let us try one capture the flag together, and then you will get what I mean. Okay, now if you want to do this together, you can go over to the zip file. If you look at the link down below, there is a zip file, and in the zip file there is a Word document called, I think it is called 1172. Okay, so for those who want to try this with me, you can do this, but this is not about your assignment. I just want you to know what is capture the flag. Okay, once you know that, then you can start to do your assignment. Now, capture the flag, there are so many different kind of questions that you will get. Okay, there is no way one guy can teach you all the ways you can capture all the flags. So this example that I'm showing you here is just one simple example that even the first time people can do, which is why it is very suitable for us right now. So over here, this is a Word document file, and this is the puzzle. Now in CTF, there is only one objective, which is find the flag. Okay, so what is the flag? Of course, this is just a Word document. So the first thing is you have to know how to find the flag. Now you don't ask me how I know. So of course, 50% is luck, 20% is you watch this stream, another 30% is you learn about security in your lecture. So you have to combine a bit of this and that, and then you can solve a lot of CDF challenges. So over here right now, if you open this Word file, what I can tell you is there is one flag that is hidden inside this file, and then we are going to find it. Okay, so what do you think? How do I find it? So okay, the very first tool that we have is, you can see we have so many characters of N, A, and A, na. I feel good, something like that. Okay, so that NA give us a clue. In CDF, we are always trying to find a clue. Okay, and we can guess that maybe this one they are doing some binary encoding for ASCII text. Maybe there is no right or wrong, just guessing. So I can give you the answer straight away because this is not our main course. I will still have to show you other things. So the trick for this challenge is the hacker, okay, they hide some hidden Word document. So for you, if you want to try this, you can actually go to this link. Okay, so for those who want to try this out, please look at the chat. I've already put up a link. So that is how you see hidden text in the Word document. So for my case, it's very simple. You see, I go here because I'm using a Mac version, so it might be different from yours. Now, I go here and then I will ask the Word document to show the hidden text. Okay, so what I do is, first step, I highlight all the text. Second step, I go to my Microsoft Word, and then I say you want to show all the hidden text. Now the way you do it will be different if you are using Windows. So you should look at the link that I sent to you, which is on the chat, and then you will see how you get this hidden text. So once I do this, and then I close this, now you can see that this one here, just now all this is not here. Suddenly they appear. So this is the trick for this challenge. Some people hide some data inside a Word document and they put it as hidden text. So after this one, you can actually do the next thing. Now this is not the end. Okay, for your assignment, you only game over. Game over when you find the flag. Okay, don't do halfway. Now for example here, it's really hot here today. So I'm going to take all these hidden tags, I copy them. Or before I copy them, I want to replace them with 1 and 0. Now this is the next clue, because I know I only have N and A. So 2 characters. I'm guessing this could be a binary encoding 1, 0. So maybe N is 0 or A is 0, or N is 1, A and then A is 1, something like this. So we have to try. Now let's say I do something like this. If I say N is equal to 0 and A is equal to 1, let's say. So I will use my Microsoft Word. I replace all the N with 0 and then I will replace all the A with 1. Okay, that is the second step. So I will find all N, I replace it with 0, and then I will find all A's, I replace it with 1. And maybe this will be the flag, we are not sure. So let's take this thing here, because this is a binary encoding, right? Now I'm going to use a calculator to translate this one back to a flag, a possible flag. So I will use a binary to ASCII conversion. So I think this one could work. You can use any online calculator. In fact, for your CTF assignment, you will be needing a lot of tools, so you can just find any online calculator. So I will copy this one here. I have to put it into plain text first. So this is my notepad lah. So I copy to my notepad, and then I come back to here, I paste it, and then I do convert. Yeah, you see now. What do you see here is I take this one here. When I convert all this binary number back into ASCII value, I can see this is the flag value. So you see is hidden binary ASCII cipher. Now this is the answer. Okay, so this is how we capture the flag, and this is one of the simplest example lah. Some people hide a data as hidden text. Now you might be thinking, hey, for me to solve this simple challenge, I need to know so many things. Yeah, that means you are right, because there is no textbook for CTF. You cannot read chapter 1 what to do, chapter 2 what to do. You have to use your gut feeling plus what you learn in security subject and also some luck. Then you can find this. Okay, so I hope you take it the right way. Some people might hate CTF because you cannot control. Something that you cannot control, you will hate it. Some people will find this to be very fun lah. But anyway, you like it or you don't like it, you still have to do that for your assignment. Okay? So I hope you get what do we mean by capture the flag. And in your assignment, you will be showing us something like this. Okay? So I'll close all these things first and let's get back to your assignment. Now in your assignment, there are 4 flags. So if you check this marking scheme here, there is total 20 marks out of your course per mark 50. This assignment will give you 20 marks. And then yeah, you have to get this head box. So what is a head box? I'm sure all of you that is streaming today right now, you already have Kali Linux because you have done lab 1. Now, Kali Linux is a tool, or maybe you say your best friend. It will be your best friend that you use to hack server or anything. But you need something to hack. For example, if right now I want to hack apple.com, so the guy who is being hacked is apple.com, the Apple server. So over here, for your assignment, this wound box here is what you will be hacking. Okay, so first thing, you have to download this wound box. Using your Utah email, if you click, then you will be able to download this box. It is an ISO file and then an OVA file, and then you have to set this up. Just like how you set up your Kali Linux. Okay, now if you do not know how to set this, then email me, I will help you how to do it. Okay, just like how you set up your Kali Linux lah. So in the end, after you set this up, you are supposed to have something like this. So I'll show you your virtual box here. So this is the VirtualBox main window. I think most of us are using VirtualBox because it is from the lab. So most of you already have this one, this Kali Linux here, which is also what you use in lab 1 to generate the public key. Okay, so over here, I got the wrong remote control. Okay, now this one here, you already have this. Don't change. Use the one that you used in lab 1 to do this assignment. Okay, now this one here is the wound box. Wound box is a vulnerable box. This VULN stands for vulnerable. Means that when we build this server, it is not secure. Okay, now what does it mean is you can hack this server. Now what I can tell you is there is a server inside this wound box. It is a WordPress.com server, and then if you know, WordPress is a website where you can write your blogs, just like my Medium articles, right? So over here, if you want to play this game, download this tool. So this one will be the tool that you use to hack Kali Linux. This wound box will be the guy that you are hacking into, which means that when you do your assignment, you are supposed to run two boxes together. You have to start this one, you start it up, make sure it is running in the background, and then you use your Kali Linux to hack into that box. You need to run two virtual machines. Okay, now if you are still not clear about this one, just drop me an email. I will tell you how to set up this thing properly. Okay, now next, let's go back to the assignment and okay, now the second thing that you should take note is when you set up the hacking box, you want to change the network adapter to host only. Okay, meaning that you should go here and then in the setting here, you want to make sure you change this to a host only. Okay, now if you do this, your assignment is going to be very easy because you don't have to worry about all the networking stuff. If you don't do this, that means you put it on a bridge adapter, then your hack box can go online. But you will have a lot of things that you have to worry about, like router, IP, all these things. So to make it easy, just put it into your host only. Okay. Now next thing here. So now how you do your assignment is already given to you. You have 6 stages. Okay, now of course you will start with easy one and then slowly it will become harder and harder lah. Now next thing here, see the level of difficulty is already here. So there are some easy one, there are some harder one, and all the thing that you have to do is already given here. Okay, so that means it's step by step. Now you see what you should do is just follow all the instructions here and do this one by one, and then you have to write this one as your answer. Okay, so for example, if you have find out what is the IP address of this WordPress.com server. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to write this as your answer. Okay, so how you get all the marks is already very clearly stated here lah. So you don't have to ask, hey sir, why my friend get higher marks than me? Why he cannot solve all the challenge but he get more marks? It's because we will give you marks based on all the things that you are doing here. Okay, now in this stream I cannot explain all of this in just 1 hour, so I will just briefly explain as a summary. Now you will need to learn a few skills. First one is information gathering. Okay, now this one here, I'm sure everybody here can do it. Why can do it is because, think about this, actually you right now you have a hacker inside you. Everybody here is a hacker, is inside you, just that you haven't awakened the hacker inside you. Okay, now let me ask you this, think about this. If today I found a pretty girl and then I have her Facebook, I give that Facebook to you, I think you you will be able to find her IG. You can find her TikTok. You can find her Douyin, right? This is what we do best. If I have your IG, I can also find your Facebook. So that thing, you can do this. That means you are a hacker already. Because the first step to hacking people is information gathering we are doing here. Now the second skill that you need to learn is all the Linux command. So later on I will show you using half hour how I do all the basic Linux commands so that you can do for Act 2 and then here, this one here. Now from Act 3 onward it is getting difficult and you need to learn this thing called a reverse shell. So don't worry about what I'm saying here because right now all the things that I say here you can also find it on the assignment. For example, all these things are linked. Can you see all these things? So if you want to use this one, just click, it will bring you to a page and this is where you will find your answer to that question. All the hints is already hyperlinked for you. Okay? Now so that's pretty much what I want to tell you about your assignment. If you want to know anything about the assignment, please write it on the chat and then I'll answer to you one by one. Okay, now guys, before you start asking question, now what I'm doing is I will go through this story so that you know what is going on now. Okay, so I hope I will go slowly and then just enjoy. So first thing here, what we have is we have a wound box. Inside the wound box, this wound box here, this one we have a WordPress server. Okay, you can think of this as a real machine. Although right now we are all using VirtualBox, which are all virtual, means we are running them on a real machines. In a machine, you have many VM box lah. But this one, just think of it as a real server. And inside this server, we have WordPress.com. Okay, now in WordPress.com, you have many users, just like Weber. You have your student ID. Everybody here have your own account. We can log in using your own student ID, right? Now on WordPress.com, it is also the same. If you create an account, then you will have your own account. So what we want to do here is we want to hack this server so that we get the root access. Now what is a root access? You will find out in a short while. So over here, I want you to look at this diagram here. Let's say for example, this one here. We have 3 users. Now think about this. They are the WordPress user. So we have 3 people. They go to WordPress.com. They create 3 accounts. One people is named Ariana. Another one is Dua. The last one is called Taylor. So 3 users. For example, let's say I am not any user here. I'm not even any one of these here. Do you think it is possible that I can hack into Taylor account and then I become Taylor? Yes, that is the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do is after you become one of the user, you want to take over the whole PC, the whole server, so that the whole server become your own server. And that is by getting the root access. So in Linux, root is like the boss, the big boss. Who has the root access has all the power on a Linux PC. Okay, I'm calling this Linux. Some people call this Linux. It's the same thing. I like to call this Linux because the sound make is more British and then it make me sound more. It made me sound more like I'm the British people. So people think I go to UK for 3 months and then I come back. Okay, so right now what you want to do is you have to learn basic Linux command first. Okay, so I will give you 5 minutes to ask questions about this assignment. Of course, right now you'll be very blurred because this is the first time you are seeing this. We will learn Linux first, and then on the next stream, I will show you how to do reverse shell with privilege escalations. Alright? Okay, now I'll be reading the chat here, so hold on. Okay, the Ubuntu is already set up. Yeah, correct. The Ubuntu is set up already. I will give you the credentials so that you can go inside. But actually, you don't have to do anything. Okay, the only thing you need to do is to start the virtual machines. You don't have to do anything inside the hack box. So for those who are not clear, I want you to make this clear first because that's the most important thing before you start your assignment. You have two things. First is the hack box. This is the hack box. Means that this is the server inside here. You want to hack. This one is your Kali Linux. So you will have two virtual machines. You use your Kali Linux to hack inside this one, this hack box. Okay? Okay, now this is a good question. After you start this one, just put it there. Don't have to do anything in the hack box. Okay? Next. Hey, I think we are getting international. Why we have so many new names here? Okay, now guys, if you don't have any questions, then I'll move on to the second part of the video. And I'll be showing you how to use some basic Linux command, and this is really, really important. Otherwise, you won't be able to crack even maybe the challenge number 1. So let's go to the second part here. And I hope that for the second part, we can do this together. So guys, start up your Kali Linux, the one that you use in lab 1, and then we will try to do some basic Linux command together. So let me know if you're ready. Now, first thing I want to tell you is about Kali Linux, okay? Okay, guys, Kali Linux, right now you see the one that you are seeing on the screen is a bit different from what you are using from the lab because Kali Linux is different for everyone. So you have to think about this. So this Kali, for you and for me, we do different things. For example, I use Kali to hack public bank. And then you use Kali Linux to hack Domino so that you can get free pizza. Now, all the tools that we will be using will be different. The great thing about Kali is that you can actually customize the whole Kali to your needs. So for example, if I am a red team hacker, so there are two kinds of hackers, blue and red. Blue team hacker is the good guy, the defender. They want to protect a server. The red team hacker is the guy who is trying to get inside, try to attack a server. So there is blue and there is red. Okay, now you don't have to run the Wound server right now. Right now, run your Kali Linux. Just start your Kali Linux, okay? And then we will do this together. So continuing from my story now, everyone here by the end of this semester, you have your own virtual Kali Linux that will be different because throughout the assignment, you will be installing different software to crack some of the challenges. And the way you do it will be different from the way your friend do it. Okay? So by the end, you can actually create a snapshot of the machines so that you can bring the virtual box, the image file, to another PC. You run it, all the software that you have already used is still inside. Just like you customize your own operating system. Okay, now when I say customize, it is not like I take sticker and then I put sticker here and there, that kind of customization. No, VM or your Kali customization means that you already pre-install so that if you join any competition, you don't want to install software during the competition, correct? You want to have all the tools that is already ready. So now I hope you're already in your Kali. and I will go through a few commands. If you already know this, great. If you don't know, pick up what I'm going to show you right now. So over here, once you are inside your Kali, go to your terminal, and we are going to learn a few basic commands here. So what we will be doing is all the challenge that is already given in the challenge file. This challenge file is also available in the download link down below. And we will be using half hour to do all these things, okay? So I hope you are ready. Now, first thing, you have to, there are two types of people. One type is they like to use keyboard warrior. Another type of people, they like to use mouse. Okay, for this stream, we are neutral. We will be using both mouse and keyboard. But if you really want to look like a hacker, you should only be using this one. Okay. So the second thing is over here. Look at my screen. I have two different. I have left side and right side. So on the right hand side, I'll be showing you what happened if you use a UI, and then on the left hand side, you will see the command that I used to do it. So once you get inside your virtual machine, your Kali, and you open up a terminal, first thing you want to ask yourself is what user you are logged in, okay? Which is the question that I ask myself every night before I sleep. So the command that you want to use is whoami. You should get root. So this command here shows us what user you are logged in. This is very important because in your assignment there are 4 users. Okay. Now how do you know whether you are user 1 or user 2 or user 3? You will use this command. Of course, right now it is you only have one. Whatever you do, you will only be the root. Now root, like I said earlier, is the most powerful people in Linux. If you have root access, you can do, okay, I repeat this. So root is the most powerful user in Linux. If you have root access, you can do anything including read, write, and access. Okay. Now, the second command that you want to know is pwd, which stands for print working directory. Okay. When you type this pwd here, you will see it shows you what directory that you are in currently. So for example here, if I am in home, then it will show you /home. So it is something like this. If I want to do this on the UI, it is here. I am right here. This is the same thing. So let's say if I in another directory, when you do a print, then of course you will see some other directory. I will show you that in a while. Okay, so hold on, I have to find my chat. Where is my chat? Now, next thing, we want to flex the muscle, okay, is CD. Now, CD means you want to change directory. Okay, so let me open this one here, CD. And as you are doing this, you can actually look at the context here. So first thing is you want to find who you are. This is by using whoami. The second one is we will skip this one. Okay, we will skip number 2. We will come back in a while. Now number 3, find out where you are is by using the pwd, and then find out what folder you have is by using the ls. So right now, if you do an ls command here, you will see all the files that you have. This one is a listing. Okay. So you see, right now I'm here, I only have one folder which is named Kali. So when I type ls, it will show me this is the Kali folder. Okay, now if you want to see more information, then you'll use ls-l, and this is how we specify options in Linux. Now in Linux, the command is very powerful. There are so many things that you can do only with command. You cannot do it with a mouse. Okay. So when you do a -l, it means you are telling the command to use these particular parameters. So we call these options. Now if you press enter, then you will see the same folder which is listed together with the permission setting. So this is the permission setting. Okay, and later on this will be very important in your assignment because you want to steal some people permission. Okay. Now, so far we have gone through a few commands, but we will go back to CD and then we'll start over. Before that, next ls options you will normally use is -a. Okay. Now -a is very important to show all the hidden files. Over here you don't see anything extra because there are no hidden files. Later on we'll go to another folder where you have hidden files. Okay. Now one thing before I go on is on Linux, the folder that we have in Windows is called a directory. So folder and directory are the same thing. Okay, so right now I'm here. The next command that you want to learn is called cd, which stands for change directory. So over here, let's say if I want to change directory, I can use the cd command and then I'll choose where I want to go to. So for example, if I do a ls, I know I have a folder here. If I want to go inside this folder, I will just double click. Then I go inside here. To do this using command, you use the cd command followed by the name of the directory you want to go to. So over here, I put Kali. Then you will go to this thing. To show you we are really here, you can do a ls and then you can see all the folders that you have here is exactly the same with all the things that you have here. So one, on the right hand side, you use the mouse. On the left hand side, you use the keyboard command, but it's the same thing. Okay, now let's say if I want to go inside this download folder, okay, using a mouse, I'll just double click, no need to teach you, correct? Now using the command, you will use the cd followed by the directory that you want to go, so downloads. If you do a ls, you can again see all the files here is the same with all the files that I have here. So it's just whether you want to use the command or you want to use the mouse. Okay, so I hope you are still fine so far. Next, what if I want to go up or to the previous folder? So using a mouse, I will click back button, then I come back here. Now using a command, you will type cd followed by 2 dots. This one here means you go back to a previous directory. If you press enter and then you do a ls, you can see now I'm back in this directory, the one which is above. Okay, now next, if I want to go back to download, I will just, okay, you can also do a pwd here. Right now I'm back in home Kali. You see this one here and this is exactly the same. So you guys, you can see that this one here, this /home/Kali, and this one here is exactly the same thing. Okay, now let's try another CD that you will always use. Let's go back to download again. So I'm right now in download, which is something like this. Now, what if I want to go further down? For example, I want to go to this snot folder. So I have this. Okay, you might not have all these things because yours and mine will be different. Okay, so whatever you have here, that's fine. Later on, we will make our directory, then we'll do it. So right now, guys, you don't have to do anything. Just see what I'm doing. Now, next thing is if let's say I go into a lot of folder. I go very deep. So one folder, go inside. I can even like go to this folder. Okay, if I want to go back up to the home directory, sometimes you don't want to do cd one by one. It's too many things to do. So how can we go straight away until here? You use cd followed by this symbol here. If you press this one, then it will straight away bring you to the home directory. If you do this, you can see now I'm back into root. So this one will bring you back into the original place where you first started, which is the topmost level in a folder or in a directory structures. Okay, so this is some basics that you will be using. Next, we will be doing this together. and we'll start from number 2 here. Okay, guys, remember on Linux, you have to be in root user if you want to do something that require admin privilege. So this root user is just like the run as admin you see on Windows. Remember, sometimes when you install a program, you say, do you want to run as admin? So that is the same thing lah. For Linux is root. Okay, now first thing we want to do here is you want to create 2 user. Now how do we create user? I will give you the command here. You make sure you are in root first, and then you just do a su. Hold on, my virtual machine is acting crazy now. So just do a su. What's wrong with this guy? I'm losing control to my virtual machine. Maybe I'm being hacked already. Oops, guy, please hold on. Something is wrong with Kali. Okay guys, hold on, I have to restart the machine. I lose access to Kali. Okay, we are back. Okay, so just now we are talking about this basic command. Now we are going to start to create 2 new user here. So the command that you use to create user is su. Okay, but make sure you are in root first. So I think for your case you will already be in root. Now for my case, I have just logged into root. So first thing you use su, and then followed by this syntax -s. Okay, so let's say if I want to create a user called hackermon, and then you want to use this s-bin-bash. Okay, now this is the command that you should put, and the reason we put this is so that later on when this user is created, you are able to use a bash script. You are able to type command on it. You will see later if what happens if I don't do that. Okay, so I will visualize this for you, and then you do a -m. Now -m is also very important, because if you don't put a -m, then later on this user will not get his own folder here. So you want every user to have your own folder, to save your own things, to install your own program. And this -m will allow the folder for that user to appear. and the last syntax is your name. So for example, if I want to create a username hackermon, then I will do something like this. Okay, now if you go by the instructions here, you want to create Taylor and Lady. So I will create the first user here as Taylor. Okay, let me try this. Oh, okay, I think I used the wrong command. We cannot SU yet because we haven't created. So guys, let us start over. We want to use this command first, add user. Okay, and then the same one, the same command here, bash -m Taylor. It is supposed to work. Let me try this. Hold on guys, something is wrong. Oh, I used the wrong command. Guys, I didn't use the wrong command. It's user add. So let me clear the screen. I'm sorry, let me clear the screen and then we do this again. So it's user add and then the same syntax here. This is what happens when you use command lah. Because I'm actually a mouse user. -m Taylor. This time it should work. Yeah, luckily it works. So guys, this is the right command. Okay, so I'll just repeat this again. You use the command user add, and then you use this one bin, and then you use this one to create the folder for Taylor. Now you can see Taylor is already here. Okay, now next, depending on whether you want to set password or not. If you want password, then you do this. If you don't want password, you skip this. Okay, so if you want password, you just type password, PASSWD, followed by the name of the user account. So for example, I want to set for Taylor. Then I press password Taylor. Then he will ask you to put the password. Okay, so I will just put a simple password here. I don't want to state it out, otherwise it wouldn't be a password anymore. Now this is how you do it. Okay, now let's create another user called Lady. If you want to create Lady here, the next thing is I will be using the same command, user add. Okay, -. Now this one you can also use bin, or you can also use something that is a bit different. That is up to you. So there's another option which is something like this, ZSH and then Lady. Oh, this one doesn't work here. Is user. Okay, now there is a bit syntax error here. So you want to do something like this. See now, Lady is already created. So for those who are not sure about why I do this, I will use another command here to show you why we need all these parameters. But you don't have to do this. Okay guys, so you just stop on your side. Let me show you why we need this syntax. Okay, you see, if I create a new user called hackermon, okay, I just do it like this. Now you see, he won't get his folder. There is no folder. That means if he download anything, where is the file? Correct? So you don't want that to happen. Now the second thing is, if I already create so many users, I want to know what user I have. How you do this? You can use this cat/etc/passwd. Now this is very useful. You will always use this to find out how many users you have. So for example, let's say if I have a computer, but I'm not rich enough, so I share a PC with my girlfriend. Okay, although in truth I don't have a girlfriend. So let's say 2 people, so I have 2 user account. So if you want to know who is the user in this PC on a Linux, you use this command cat etc password, and you can see all the user that we have just created. Hackermon is here. You have Lady here, you have Taylor here, which is all the users that we have just created. Okay. Now, next thing, what if I create too many users? Now I don't want so many users. Maybe my girlfriend finally buy her new MacBook Pro, so she don't have to use my PC anymore. Now in Linux, if you want to delete the user, you just use user delete. I think this is the right one, hackermon. Yeah. So can you see this command here? So this is the command that you use to remove a user from Linux. Okay. Now let's try to check what user do we have again. I can do a clear cat etc password, And you can see right now, hacker mod has already been removed. So this is how I delete a user on Linux. Okay, so next, what if I want to remove lady right now? If I want to remove lady, I will use the same command, user delete lady, but okay, I think this one it works. So just to check if lady has been removed, yeah, now lady is not a user anymore. We only have Taylor. But do you see there is a problem here? Because lady folder is still here. So you might want to delete this one also. Okay, now how do you remove this folder? You have to of course go to the right directory first. So let's say I'm here. You can see I have 3 folders here. Am I right? So over here, this lady is not here anymore. So we want to remove this folder. You use the command rm, which stands for remove, and then you just do a -f-r lady. It will remove this one. Now the reason we do this syntax here is because if I don't put -r and -f, Linux won't allow us to delete. Because there are some files that is still inside the folder, then Linux won't allow us to delete, which is why we have to put this one. And now I'm back to 2 user. Okay, so right now what I'm showing you is how you're playing around with adding user and deleting user, which is also something that you have to know for your assignment. Okay, now we will take this slowly, Although I'm running out of time, for those who don't have enough time, you can just leave the stream and then just replay the video after lah. Okay, now next, I want to add user back, so I will use user add -h. So now I have 2 users. Okay guys, I hope by now you also have 2 users. You're supposed to have 2 users already. And then next thing is, right now you want to see who are you. I am root. Okay, I want to go into Taylor folder. I want to become Taylor. I want to log in as a different user. How can I use it? How can I do that? Now the command is su followed by the name of the user you want to log in. If you do that and you do whoami, now you can see I'm now Taylor. Okay. Now, if you don't want, you want to go back to root, you just type exit, then you go back to root. Same thing. If I want to log in as lady, I will do lady, su lady, and then now you can see I'm lady. So this is how I change user on Linux. You use the su command followed by you want to use the su followed by the user that you want to log in as. Okay, so until here, if you are clear, that means we have already done this step here. Okay, now next, we go to, you want to try to be familiar with number 5. So let's see where am I right now. I am in home. Okay, which is this one here. If I do a ls, I have 3 folders: Kali, Lady, and Taylor. Okay, for your case, you might only have different ones. So maybe you have root, Taylor, and Kali, depending on the version of VM that you are using lah. Okay, so next thing here. Okay, now I will just do some Q&A for now. If you want to delete one user, I have to go through 2 commands. Actually, you can run the 1 command in 1 line, but it's too early. Now we are still beginner, so I will show you one by one. Later on, I can show you the more advanced command. Okay, now this one here, no folder. If you don't see a folder, that means you didn't use the -m option. So you're supposed to use this one, and then you will get a folder for that user. Okay, so next thing, I want to try to move around, try to flex the muscle, go in, go out. In Chinese we call this 进进出出. Okay, now of course now we are new. If you are trying to get in and out, it might be confusing. As you do more, assignment, then it become very familiar to you. After you 进出 a very long time, then it become easier to 进出出 lah. If you know what I mean lah, huh? Okay, I don't want to make this stream to be 18, so I will stop here. So next, if I want to go into lady, just cd lady, and then you do a pwd, you are actually already here. So you see this one and this one is the same. Okay, now if I want to go up, I want to go back to this home, then I will do cd dot dot to go up. And then now you see I'm at P, okay, let me do a pwd, then you're at home. So same thing, if I want to get into Taylor, I will just do Taylor, and then I get in here, and then you do a pwd, you are now in Taylor. Okay, now let's say I'm in Taylor. If I create a folder, okay, you cannot create a folder, no permission. So if you want to go back to home, just do cd with this symbol, then it will bring you to home, which is the home of lady. Now I'll explain a little bit here. Yes, guy, you are right. So your friend is right. If you want to go to root, you will type this. Okay, now right now, since I'm in lady, if I do a cd and then I do this symbol, it will go back to lady because the home is lady. Right now I'm lady user. Okay, and then if I log in as Taylor, oh, I cannot do that. Okay, hold on. Now if I log in as Taylor, and then I do a cd to other place. Let's say I do a cd to lady. So what I'm doing here is that although I'm Taylor, I can go to my friend folder. So this is actually a security problem. This user can go to other user folder. Okay, but of course if you do a cd and then this one, it will bring you back to Taylor home folder because right now I'm Taylor. So my home folder will be Taylor, not lady or not anybody else. So right now, before you are confused, I want to visualize this thing for you, which is really important. Okay, just hold on for a second here. Now this is how it works. On Linux, every time you install a Linux, doesn't matter it is Kali Linux or any Linux, Ubuntu, Fedora, you always have the most powerful user, which is the root. And root normally we write in this way. This is the root. So what we have done here is, I created a home folder. Now you have this home folder. Okay, so if you look at this one, if you go back to your Kali here, and then you do a cd dash dash. Okay, let me go back to root first. Okay, cd dash dash, and then you do ls. You can see there are so many folders. So this one is when you install Linux, you will see all these things, which means that you see you have this home folder, right? This home folder is what you are seeing just now. Okay, so inside this home folder, I have, if I go inside here, I have 3 users. If I go up one level, then I can see all this folder. This one is created by default when you install Linux. Okay. Now the next thing is, what it means is all this folder here is like this: bin, etc, and many other things. Now inside this home folder here, we have Kali, we have Taylor, and then we have lady. So this is how it looks like right now. And for us to go from one place to another, we will just use the cd command. You can go here using the cd command. Okay, if you want to go back up here, you use the cd double dot command. This is what is happening right now. Okay, now for those who are having some issues like file is not created, maybe I'll look at that in a while. If you want, you can just email that to me lah. But anyway, we have to carry on. So let's go back to this, our VM here. Okay, so right now we are already how you move around and the file structures, things like that. And this is where we're going to start to do this. Okay, so we'll do this together. And I'll go slowly so that everybody can follow. So first thing, what we want to do, we want to create a new directory named heaven of our own. Okay, now guys, you have this one is up to you. Whether you want to do this as a root user or you want to do this as lady or Taylor, it is up to you. Okay, now for example, if I want to do this as Kali, okay, so I will log in as Kali. Maybe you don't have Kali user. If you want, you can create one, but it is all the same thing. Okay, right now I'm using Kali. You can use Taylor or lady. And then I want to create folder. So I want to go to CD home, which is here. If I do this, then I'm already here. This one here. So I have 3 folders. I want to go into Kali, which means that I go inside here. Okay. Now I want to create a directory named heaven. The command that we use is mkdir followed by the folder name heaven. You see, if I do this, then this folder is now created here. So this mkdir command means make a new directory named heaven, and then you can see the heaven is here. Of course, if you are feeling fun, you can always make so many different directories. Okay. Now this is done for step number 6. Number 7, make a new directory named hell inside heaven. So which means that if I go to the UI, I want to the hell folder here. So I have to cd into heaven first, and to check whether you are really here, then you can check using a pwd. If you don't have a Linux distro, then you should have a Linux distro by now, because we are already in lab 2. Okay, now next, do a mkdir followed by hell, and you will see this is already up. Okay, now next instructions. You want to make a text file named hello heaven.txt in the heaven folder. So right now you are going to make a text file here. Now this is the important part. To make a file on Linux, this is the command that you'll be using many times. Use the touch command followed by the file name hello heaven.txt. You press enter, and then you will see now this file is already created here, but it is empty because we just created a file, but there is no data inside right now. Okay, so if you can do a ls, you will also see you have a hell folder and a hello heaven folder, which is exactly what you see on the UI version. Alright, now next instructions here. You want to make a new text file named hello hell in hell. Okay, so over here, you want to go inside here before you make the text file here. So you don't do it in the wrong place. You have to be very careful with what the instruction is asking for. So here, if you make it here, it is wrong. You have to go inside here and make it. So for me, I will cd into hell. Now we are getting into hell now. It's getting more and more fun. Now do the touch command hello hell, which is the file name txt, and then you will see you have a hello hell here. Okay, so if you have done that, that means you are done with 8 and 9. So this is how we create a file by using the touch command. Of course, you can create so many different files. It is not just for text. I can also say sample, let's say hackermon dot maybe .document. It will work. You can do any file like handsome.jpg. It will also work. Okay, so touch is the command that you use to create a file. Now, if you don't want any of the file, you can just use rm followed by the file name. So I want to remove chmod. I want to remove handsome.jpg. That's how I remove the file. Okay. Now, if you are done, then the next thing is you want to write your name into the file. So how do we write something? Of course, right now the file is nothing. Now, on Linux, if you want to see the content of a text file, you use the cat command. Cat followed by the file name. Now, cat, why cat? Why not dog? Why not some other animal? Because you know, Linux, we always use command. We don't like mouse. So we put cat to catch away all the mouse. And which is why cat is the most popular command, because you can always use cat to see the content of a text file, or in fact any of the file that is support. So for example, right now here I have a hello hell. If I do a cat hello hell.txt, so what we are doing is I'm trying to see the content, and you see there is nothing because right now this file is actually empty. Okay, so of course if you want to write something, you can just say, wow, I can just use a mouse, it is even faster. Okay, maybe you're right, sometimes mouse is faster. In fact, I agree with that. If most of the spy in the spy movie, when they try to hack into a building and then they try to take the pen drive, put inside, steal some data, you see normally they will type some command and then steal the data. Then always this happen. The file go until 99%, then the enemy come in, then you have to hide under the table. Correct. If he use a mouse, probably he will get out even faster. Before the bad guy come inside the room, he already finished saving the file, and that movie will be a very short movie lah. But why we use command is because there are so many things that a mouse cannot do for us. Okay, so for example, right now, if you want to write something, you will use the echo command. So let's play with echo first. Echo is a command that you use to print something. It's just like your printf or your system.out to print something. Okay, so for example here, let's say I follow the instructions. Now we write your name into hello heaven. So I have to go back up one directory into hello heaven. I do a cd ... and then I'm back up, and now I want to write my name inside here. So echo just printf. So for example, I say avocado, something like this. Okay, then you see he will print this avocado. So echo is just to print. Do you see that? Now if you want to print a string which you have space in between, then you have to add the quotation. For example, hour is overtime now. Then oops, it's not this one. You have to put double quote, I think. I hope this is correct. Yeah, you have to put a double quote, then you see it will print the whole line here. Now of course, if you want to write only one word, you don't have to put the double quotations. But if you don't, then it doesn't work. So if you see I do like this, you don't get the display, you don't get the print. Okay, so again, echo is for us to print something. If you want to print more than one word with space in between, you have to put them in code. So word 1, word 2, word 3, and then it will print. That is echo, and that is very, very useful. Now let's say I want to write my name, so I will say Awo, and I want to write this into this file. Now we are going to start to use operator. In Linux we have a few kind of operator, and you have to know this, because if you don't know this, you cannot write the command for your assignment. You cannot capture any flag. So I will start to introduce some operator from now onwards, and I hope you can get it. Now you have to put quotation mark if you want to print a sentence, so that you know where to start and where to end. I hope I answered your questions. Okay, Juwei, did I answer your questions? Now next thing, let me continue. So for your case, you want to write your name, and then you want to use this character, which is to pipe. We call this to pipe. So we want to write this into this file called hello heaven.txt. and then I open this file, you can see my name is now inside. And that is how and that is how we write a text data into a text file. So I'll do this again for those who didn't get it earlier. So let me remove the content here. So you see, in the first place, if I try to read the text file content, there is nothing. So you wouldn't see any line. If you want to write any text here like "Owl, I need to go to lunch." Then you want to use this one, which stands for pipe. You want to send it to what file? And this is the file name, hello heaven.txt. Now if you do a cat here, you will see that the content is already written inside. So again, that is how you write a text or any text into a text file. Okay? Now, for those who are already familiar with Linux, this might sound repetitive for you. Then you don't have to follow this. But yeah, for those who are new who always use mouse, now it's time for you to try to use keyboard. Don't spend too much time with your mouse anymore. And then we'll go into hacking part in the second stream. This stream is all about the basics. Okay, now Ali, don't worry, Ali. You can always play back the video after we end the stream. So now, let's go to the next instructions here. Try to read the content. We have already done that using the cat command. Okay. Now, next thing here, we want to write your nemesis name into hello hell. So over here, inside the hell folder, we have another file called hello hell. And this time, we want to write the name of the guy you hate. Please don't put my name here because I cannot survive in hell. Okay, just put in any name you want to write it here. So based on what we have just learned, try to do this. And while you are doing this, I just want you to know that there are another operators which is to append. So guys, let me show you this. If I want to write a name here, so who do I hate? Maybe I don't hate people. But maybe I don't hate people. I just put in any names like Lazada Sears, something like this, and then I put into hello hell.txt. Then you do a cat. You should see what we have just typed inside is already inside. Now if you double click here, you can also you're supposed to see the hello hell. Why isn't it showing? It is supposed to be here. Oh, I did it wrongly. Sorry guys. I do it in the wrong directory. So let me remove this file first. Make sure you are in the right directory. Okay, so you want to write into this file which is already created, and I need to go into the hell first. So over here I have this file, and this is the file that we want to write something. So echo Lazada birthday sales, and you pipe into hello healthy. You do a cat. Now if you do a cat, you should see the same thing. For those who like to use mouse, you can also see this. Okay. Now, next thing, we're going to learn the operator for append, which is this operator here. Now, what we have here is we have a line here. If you want to append, then you want to use this one. I think there is another part for that. Okay, we will go into that in a short while. So let's finish up our section 1 first. So, number 14. We are already in number 14 here. You want to copy a file. Now, this one is also important for your assignment. Because, let's say if you want to hack a file, you want to modify this file. Normally, you want to do a backup. So you want to copy this file into another file, and then you change the thing inside here. Let's say if you mess up, this one cannot use. You still have the original copy. Okay? If you just take the original one, you change something here and you mess up, then the end. Game over. Do you get what I mean? Which is why it is important for you to copy a file. So for example here, I have a hello health text. If I want to copy this file, I simply use the command cp followed by hello health, which is the original file name. The second parameter is the new file name that you want to copy to. So maybe hello health2.txt. Then you get another file here. This is how you copy a file on Linux. Okay? Now, if you are done with this one, that means you already do all these things. We are done with all these things. It's cool. We have gone a long way. Now, but right now it's getting quite messy, and I don't like mess. Okay, let's declutter some of our thing right now. So for those who have done all the first part here, the next thing you want to do is you want to totally clear all the folder that we created earlier. So you have a heaven folder here. Inside heaven you have a health folder, and then you have a few text document. Now for you to clear the whole directory, normally, let's say if I have an empty directory. Okay, now I'm just doing an example so you don't have to do this with me. Okay, let's say I make a new directory here as new folder. Okay, now this new folder is currently empty. If you want to remove an empty folder, you use the command rmdir followed by the folder name that you want it to be removed, and then you see now it is already gone from here. It's so simple. But if I want to remove a folder that has something inside, for example, we know that we have something in the heaven folder right now. So if I do an rmdir heaven, I'll get field to remove because you have things inside. So Linux is really a cautious people. Okay, play it safe. Because if I just run this command, then the whole assignment folder is gone. And then you will come to tell me, sir, I did it already, trust me, but I accidentally delete the whole directory. It's not that I don't want to submit. Things like that is going to happen, which is why you have this field safe to protect. But if you really are very sure about this and you want to remove, you will use the rm command followed by -f and -r, which stand for force. You want to force it. Okay, for those who are interested to learn more, you can actually use this command here. If you do a --help for any command, in fact for most of the command, you will see all the syntax here. So if I do a -f, it means I want to force remove. It doesn't matter if anything is inside, just remove it. Okay, and you of course you have some other parameters here like recursive is -r. So right now what we are doing is I'm going to remove this heaven folder using rm-r-f followed by the folder name, and now you see it's gone. We have already removed the folder even though there are something inside. So that is how you remove a folder or a directory in Linux. So if you have done this, that means you have already cleared everything, all is done. Okay, so I will just take you maybe 10 more minutes. Let's finish this one, and then you can actually start to go through your assignment because you can already do the first part after this stream. So now we are already in the second stream here, and then, second part here, and we want to do something on file and directories. Okay, now this one is about permission setting, and this part is also very, very important because as you are hacking people, we call this the outlier, means that you are not the powerful people. You don't have any power, you know. So, but you want to be the powerful people. So you have to start from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4. And we call this thing privileged escalation, like the escalator that brings us from in the mall, from ground floor to the second floor. Escalator. So privileged escalation is like that. I start with a normal guy, like I play RPG game. When I'm level 1, I don't have armor. I'm naked here, I'm naked here. When you're level 100, you have your golden shiny armor here and there. Okay, so you want to escalate from low level to high level, and that is the whole assignment. What is the whole assignment is about? Privilege escalations. Okay, which is why assignment is very this permission setting is very important, because as a new user, I don't have enough power. So the thing that I can do on the server is so limited. Okay, but as I get more power, more armor, more weapon, as I level up, I can do more and more things until finally I am the king, I'm the boss, I'm the root. Then I can do everything. That is what we want. Okay, so now let's go to the second part here, and then you can clear your screen and you can start new. Okay, let's go. Now, first thing is I want to show you how to do this permission setting, and you want to make a new directory named hacker, and inside the folder you just make a text file with any names. Okay, it doesn't matter what name, just make it any names. So over here, I'm in this. Of course, you can be any user. Remember, you can be Taylor, or you can be Kali or anyone, or you can even do this as a root user. So right now, I'm going to do this as Kali, and I'll show you what I have here. I have these 3 directories. So I'm here. You want to go inside to your folder. So I go inside to Kali. I'm going to make a new directory called hackermon. You see? Hacker. So that's my new directory here, hacker. And you want to create a text file. So you go inside this hacker here, cd hacker. You can always press the tab button. If you want, you press the tab button, it will also auto-complete for you. And then you want to make a text file called FA question. So I will just name this like FAQ, something like this. Okay, any text file. And then you will see this is a text file. Peter, there is attendance. QR code is on Weber. Okay, now next, we want to do ls-l to see all the permission setting. Okay, now we are going to learn how we can play around with this permission setting. This is really, really important in Linux. Okay, because actually, in fact, if you know this, you will get one of the answer to one of the flag. So right now in Linux, over here you have this permission setting. It will look something like this. Okay, let me visualize this. So we have 3 kind of user on Linux. You have user, which is yourself. You have group, and then you have other. Okay, so user is you. Group is like you can join a group, for example FICT or something. So I can show you this, but you don't have to do this. So please guys, don't have to do. I'm going to just show you something here. I can do a group at FICT. Okay, because I'm not root. Okay guys, just give me a second. You don't have to do this at FICT. See what? Because on Linux you have different group as well. So for example, if I have this group here, you can actually see all the groups is already created. Either it's created by default or you create it. Okay, so there are user, there are group. So if you want to see all the user on the Linux machine, remember you use cat etc. Okay, I'll do this slowly. Cat. For those who just joined, this is the command that I use. Now this one will show you all the users on the server. That is how I know. So I have Taylor, I have Lady, which is the 2 users that we have just created. Now, if you want to see all the groups, then you use cat etc group. This one will print out all the group that you have on the server. And you see this is the 2 groups that I just created earlier. FICT faculty and then FEGD faculty. Okay, so that is group and user. And then you also have other. Now for all these people, you have 3 permission settings. So for a file, you can do read-write access. Okay, so you have read, you have write, you have execute. Execute means you run the program. So read means you open a text file you can read. Write means you can change the text file. Execute means you can run the program. So of course you cannot run a text file, so normally you cannot execute a text file. And you have the same permission setting. They write E X, not E, for all three different people. Okay. Now over here, if you want to allow, we are talking about user first. Okay, if you want to allow this user to read a file, then you will just set 1 here. It's a binary bit, just like a flag. You want to toggle it on or off. So it's only 1 or 0, 1 or 0. Okay, so if you want it, then it's 1. If you don't want it, then it is 0. So let's say if I want the user to be able to read, but he cannot write, 0, and he cannot run, 0. This is how it works. So another example is, let's say if I want the user to be able to read, he also can write, he also can run the file. Then this is 111. Okay, now you have to do this for 3 times because the permission setting for user and group and other are different. So let's say you have a file and then you want the user to be able to read, write, and execute. For the group, you want only to read, cannot write, and cannot execute. So it's you can read, you cannot write, you cannot execute. And maybe you say other is totally nothing. You cannot read, you cannot write, you cannot execute. So it will be 0, 0, 0. So it works like a flag, whether you want to turn it on or turn it off. Okay. Now, in this case, this one here will, you have to convert this. When you are typing the command, you cannot put it in as binary. You have to translate this one into the decimal number first. So as we can tell, if you are not sure about this, you can just press the binary to decimal calculator. But it is really simple, so I'll just write this down for you. 100 binary to decimal is 4, 101 is 5, 110 is 6, 111 is 7. Okay, so I'm blocking your view here. So what it means is like, if you want to type this command here, this thing you have to type as 7 because it's 111. Okay, now if I want to type the command here for 110, you have to see 110 is 4, so you have to write 4 here. And then for 000, of course, is a 0. So to sum this up, this permission setting work in this way. You have to choose whether you want to allow means 1 or don't allow means 0 for different kind of operations. Now, I give you one more example. Let's say if I have a 110 here. So let's say if I have 110. From here, I can tell that the user can read, can write, but he cannot execute. When I type the command, I have to type 110, which is 6. Okay, now to make this simple for you, you can take a screenshot of this table because in fact you don't have to count this every time you want to change the permission. So what you can do is you can just take a screenshot of this picture, and this will be very useful for you. Okay, now this one. So in this table, what it shows us is immediately you don't have to go and think about like, okay, hold on. You don't have to think about what is the number for read, write, or what is the number for read and execute because it's already all given to you here. So let's say you want to change a permission for a file for the user to read and write. You can say, you can just see here. So if you want it only to be able to read, 4. If you want read and write, 6. If you want all read, write, execute is 7. So this table here, just use this table when you want to write the command later on. Alright. Now the command that we will be using later is called chmod, which allows us to change the permission setting on a file. So now I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can change permission setting, And also I give you one simple shortcut that you will find very useful when you do your assignment later. Okay, so now let's go to the team view. Let's go back to your Kali here. Clear, and then you want to see the file that we have. This is not the right folder. Okay, so now I'm in the hacker folder, and then I only have one file here. Now this is the permission setting. So first question, what do you think is the permission setting for this file? Okay, now over here is very clear that you have to see 3 bits at one time. So it means the user can read, can write. Okay, sorry, it's starting from here. Can read, can write, but cannot execute. Okay, now the group can read, cannot write, cannot execute. Other can read, cannot write, cannot execute. So this is how you read the permission setting. Okay, which means that if I want to type something and save here, like can I write here? Actually you can, because you have the permission to read here. Okay, so now the next thing you want to do is you want to try to change the permission setting. Now I want to show you one more example here. Let's say if I have a directory, so this is a new folder. So now I have two things. Okay, one is the text file, one is the folder. Now you see here, the very first bit here, you will see that for a file is a dash, for a directory is a D. So this bit, the very first bit, will tell you that whether this is a file or a folder. If it is a file, then you will see a dash. So this is the text file, the first bit is dash. Okay, now if you see a folder here, the first bit will set to D, which stands for a directory. So again, very simple here. This means that this new folder, this is a folder. The user can read and write and execute, so full power to the user. The next 3 bits here, the group can read, cannot write, can execute, can run. Okay. The last one here, any other people that is not in the group can read, cannot write, can execute. So this is how we read the permission setting on Linux. So I hope you are clear about this. And now what we want to do is try to change the permission setting. According to the instructions that we are given here, we will now change the permission setting. So find out who owns the file. Guys, we are now in questions number 2 for section 2. Now, who owns the file is very easy to know. You look here. This one here show you who is the owner of the file. Here it is Kali. Okay. Now if I go to root, let's say if I go to root and then I do ls-l, you can see this is different. This file belongs to the root user, the most powerful user. Okay, so this is where you know who is the owner of the file. Am I clear? Now next, I will go back to Kali right now. So I'm back in this folder, and then now we want to change the permission setting here. Okay, now this is important, so let's do this together. First thing is, let's say if I want to change this one to everybody can read, write, access. So we know this is a 777 based on the table that I give to you earlier. So if you want to allow the user to be able to read, write, and execute, you will use 7. Okay, so over here the command that we use is chmod 7. Now the second number is for the group. If I want to allow everyone in the group to be able to read, write and execute as well. So full permissions is 7. Now the last number is the for other. If you want other to be able to read, write, execute as well, then 7. Okay, followed by the file name. So if I want to change the FAQ permissions to this one, I will just type this. And then if you do a ls-l, now you can see that user have read, write, access, read, write, execute. Group have also read, write, execute. And then for other also you have full read, write, execute. That is how you do it. Now let's say I want to change. So another example, I want all the people to be able to write, be able to read only, but you cannot write. Okay, so based on the table that I give you earlier, if you only want it to be able to be read, is number 4. So you go back to the file here, you can do a chmod 444 followed by the file name, and then if you do a ls-l, you will see that now everyone can read, but you cannot write and you cannot execute. That is how it works. Okay, now let me show you a shortcut. Let's say if you want to very quickly add a write access to the user. So you want to read, now we only can read, you want to add write. So instead of you keep doing chmod 644, you can also do this, of course. Like if you do this, then you will get read and write here. But that is another way which is faster. Okay, now I'll show you how. So before that, I will remove the permission for everyone first. So right now what I have is everyone can read the FAQ file, but they cannot write. I want the user to be able to write. So I use chmod followed by u for user plus x or plus w for write, followed by the file name faq.txt. Now if you check this one, you see I have already added the write access here. Do you see that? Now same thing, if I want to make this file to be executed, be able to be executed by the user, I will use chmod. U stands for user plus X is for execute, and then the file name txt. Then you check again, now you can also read, write, execute. Okay, now let's say I want to do this for the group. So for example, I want to make the group to be able to write. So I use chmod. Now this time is a G for group, plus I want to write, write is W followed by the file name. If you check here, now you can also write for all the people in the same group. Okay, so last example here, if I want to set other to be able to execute, so I would have to use chmod. Other is O plus execute is X followed by the file name, and then if you check here, now I can execute. The other people here can execute. Do you see that? So that is a faster way for you to add and remove permissions for any file and folders on Linux. Okay, now we only have one more easy thing to go, so I will show you this one very quickly, and then it will be end of the stream. So last thing. So let's clear this one. I hope you're already clear with the permission setting and how I add permissions so that different people or different group of people can run or read or write on the file. Okay, so next thing here, you want to use the append command. So right now I have this FAQ.txt, but over here, let's say it is empty. Okay, so let's say it is nothing here. So what you are just saying is, I have a Mac OS running on a VM, running on Windows, which is running on Linux. So right now this is empty. So you do a cat, and you will see this is empty. I want to write something, so I want to write almost there. and then I pipe to faq.txt, and then I do a cat. You will see that almost there, which is the content that I've just write. Now if I want to add another line, but I want to keep the first line, the almost here, then I should use the append command. So I will write, let's say I want to write lunchtime. I have to use, when you pipe, we have to use 2 pipe, not 1, to faq.txt, and then when you do a cat faq.txt, you will see both of the thing that we type is here. So you are appending, this is called append, you want to append a text. Now if you do it using, let's say 1 pipe, okay, you just pipe using this one, this operator, check the content, you will find that right now you are overwriting the file, which is something that you don't want to do. Because let's say you are trying to hack people and you want to hack their public key. Let's say you want to hack some public key. So when you get the public key from someone, you want to add the key to your key file, say maybe your secret key file. Then this is how you do it. You have to append. Okay, so for example, if you want to add one more line here, so you want to say this time it is really ending soon. Okay, something like this. So remember to use 2 pipe, and then you will see the content here. You are going to be appending to the file. So this is the next operator that you should learn. So now remember this operator, and then I will show you 3 more operators, then we are done for today. So let's check back the instructions here, and we are now in the 3rd section, operators, and then I want to learn how to use this operator. Now if you want, you can follow me, otherwise you can just listen and then you see what I'm doing here. So I will be creating 2 text files, one cyber1, the other one called a cyber2. Okay, so I will do it here. I use a touch cyber1.txt, touch cyber2.txt, and that is how I create 2 text files. Okay, let's say I want to write something into the text file. For example, I write echo security into cyber1.txt. I do echo is fun to cyber2.txt. So let me show you the content of both of these files. Cyber1 will have the word security, cyber2 will have the word is fun. Okay, so this is all the command that we have just learned earlier. Touch will allow us to build the file. Echo will allow you to pipe some input into the file, and cat will allow you to see the content of the file. Okay, that's it. Now, next thing is we are going to learn operators. And what I want to do now is I want to see the content of both of these files using 1 line of command. Now we are getting level up. Okay, we are not beginner anymore. So right now, if I want to write the cat command to see the content of cyber1 and cyber2, the first operator that I want to show you is the AND operator, AND operator. Okay, now this one here, if I want to write cyber1.txt and I put AND cyber2.txt, what it means is the Linux machine now, it will run the first command, and if this is run successfully, then I will go to run the second command. So if I press enter here, sorry, I missed out the command here. So you want to cat cyber2. So if I press enter, you can see that security is fun, because now I show the content of cyber1 and this is successfully completed. I go to the second command and then I show is fun. Yeah, so this is the AND operator. Now what if I have a wrong command here? Let's say I do a dog cyber1. Okay, dog is not a real command. Please don't try this out. I don't know why there's no dog here in Kali, but anyway, I just want to show you if I got a wrong command first and then I got the correct command next. Now if I press enter here, you won't get anything. This shows us that AND will only run the next command if the command before him is correct, is successfully run. If you run a wrong command here, it will not run the subsequent command that come after it. So this is the and operator. Okay, now the next operator that I want to show you is a semicolon, sorry. So a semicolon is something similar to and, but it will also run the second command if the first one is wrong. So for example, let's say if I cat cyber1.txt and then cat cyber2.txt, I'm going to see both of the output because both commands are correct. And then if I do a cat cyber1.txt, this time instead of using a double N, I'll use a semicolon and then I cat cyber2.txt, and you will definitely get the same thing. What it means is, right now I will run the first command, and doesn't matter if the first one is correct or wrong, I will go ahead and run the second command. So this is a double colon. So of course, since we have both of the command is correct, you're going to get exactly the same. So now I'll show you an example if I have the first command which is the wrong one, but the second command is correct. If I use a semicolon, you will see the first one is wrong, so your command is not found, but you will still now see the second command here. So this tells us that a semicolon is an operator that of course is used to build a long line of command, but it's a safer way. It means that if the first command is wrong, I will still go on to run the second one, the third one, and then so on. Alright? So now we already have learned about two commands here. First one is a double N. Sorry, a double N means that run the first command. If the first one is correct, run the second one. A semicolon means run the first command regardless of whether the first one is correct or wrong, run the second command. Okay, now I want to show you the third operator, which is this operator here. I don't know how is it called. So I just call it a line. I don't know. Okay, so this command here is also used for us to combine a lot of commands, but it is different in a way that it will have to take the output of the first command and then use it as the input to the second command, or it's called a pipe. Thank you so much. So it's called a pipe. Luckily we have Radical here with us today. Yeah, I think the naming should be very standard. So let's call this a pipe. And I can understand why it is called a pipe, because we are taking the input for the first command and then pipe into the input for the second command. So let's say I have the same thing here. I have cat cyber1.txt and then I do a pipe cat cyber2.txt. If you run this, you will only get the output of cyber2.txt, which is fun. Now why is it so? This is because although this command is correct, it is run by the compiler or the bash, or in Linux it's called a bash, but it is not shown because this input here, the word security, will be used as the parameter or the argument to run this one. So we are taking the output of cat1, cat cyber1 as the input of cat cyber2. And since this is just an echo, this is just a text file, we are just trying to read the content of the text file. You only see the output of cyber2, which is fun. Now, this pipe operator is not really useful here if you want to see both of the content, but it is very useful. Let's say if you have two commands that they are dependent on the one before, then you want to use this operator here. Okay. So yeah, if you are okay, then last one. I only need 2 more minutes, and I will show you how to write your very first bash shell, which is the simplest example that you can find maybe on the internet, and then we are done. So over here, if you look at the last part, this is the last part here. We are really in bash scripting. So why is this important? That's because when you're doing capture the flag, in some cases you might have to write your own program to do certain things. So I think for everyone here, if you are from Utah, you have already learned C++. There's a programming language. Now on this Linux, you can also write a C program. You can write Python program. In fact, any popular languages is supported on this Kali. But the native one, we call this a shell script or a bash script. Okay, so if you want to write a bash script, it is just like any text file, except that you add a line in front. So I just want to add something. So far, what we have learned is by using echo, and then we will write something to some file. If you want to build a text editor, there is another simpler way, which is okay, hold on. So there is another way is you can just use a text editor. Now there are so many kind of text editor on Linux. The first example is you can use pico. Pico, P-I-C-O. Now this one, when you type this, it will open up a text editor for you. So if I want to create a text file name, easy. Okay, I write pico, and then you will see this is a text file. So this is just like the notepad that you have on your Windows 10 or Windows 8. Okay, so you can write anything here, and then you can save the file here, and then you can also read the content just like what we've always done using the cat command. So pico is a text editor, and it is actually more useful because let's say if you want to write the text which is very long with some formattings, then you cannot just use echo and then you pipe it in. Okay, so another one popular one is called a nano. You can do nano easy2.txt, and then yeah, nano is something like pico. It will also open a text editor, and then you can just write something, you can save it. Alright, now that is another pop. So let's say lunchtime.txt. vi will also open a text editor, and then you can write something here. Just write anything here. Okay, so to sum this up, I will show you a few popular ones. So pico is one, nano is one, vi is one. So these are all the ways you can do text editing. Now next thing, I'm going to use pico for this example, and then we want to write our first bash script. Now you are starting to feel like hacker once you do this. Okay, and yeah, the way we do it is just open any text file, and then maybe we call this hello world. Okay, this is your bash file, hello world. Now there is no need for any extensions. You don't have to put a .c to show this is a C program, or you don't have to put a .py to show this is a Python program, because in the while I will show you that there is this trick. Just press enter here, and which is every time you want to start to write a bash file, you can just put the shebang command here. So I hope I'm right. It should be this one here, bin bash. Let me try this out first because I don't really remember this. Okay. Okay, I think this is correct. So let me show you this one again. Now, every time you want to write a bash file, you have to add this line, and this is called the shebang. Okay, very nice name, but it is weird when you read it out loud. So this one will tell the compiler that this file, whatever I'm writing in this text file right now, it is a bash program. So there is no need for us to put the dot anymore, because immediately when I run this file later, Linux will know that I have to use the bash compiler or bash to read this file. So let me repeat this. Linux will immediately know that this is a bash script, and right now you can write anything inside. So for example, we can write an echo and then just print something like, this is my first bash. Okay, and then you can also do some command like whoami, pwd, all the things that we have learned earlier, and then you can just save this one. Okay, so now if you do an ls-l, you can see that this hello world is actually the bash file that we have just created. And the next thing I want to do is I want to run this file to see whether it is really working. Okay, now of course, first thing you will notice is that we will not be able to do that because we don't have the permission to run. So the first thing you have to do is to add the permissions so that I can run this file. And remember what we have learned earlier, I want to use the chmod command. For the user, I want to add the run permissions for the file hello world. It's that simple. Just to be sure, I'll do a check, and then now you can see that we have the permissions to run the file. Okay, now the next thing is, of course, I want to try to run a bash file, and the way we run a bash is by using a / command followed by the file name. Okay, so this / means that you're running a bash file followed by hello world. Oops, yeah, you see now. That means I have successfully run my very first bash file, and this is exactly what we type inside the do here. So you see what I've done is I want to print this line of text, and then I also want to run the whoami command, which we know will tell you what user you are right now, and I'm the root user, and this is my current directory, and that is how we write a bash file. So to summarize this, to write a bash file is very simple. You can just use any text editor of your choice. My favorite is pico, followed by the file name. So let's say this is chmod or something. So this is going to be a bash. And the way this compiler knows that this is a bash file is by using the shebang command bin bash. If you have this line, anything that you type after this will automatically become a bash file. And one last thing here, for those who want to run, use the / followed by your bash file name, and there you go. This is how you run your very first bash. So something similar to C program if you are familiar with that, but instead this one is running on the native bash on Linux. So guys, that's pretty much it for what I want to show you today. And for the next stream, I will start to show you the real stuff on how we can actually hack a WordPress server using some of the command that we have just learned here today. So thank you all for joining this stream. Thank you very much, and then I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm sorry for some of the lags. If you have some lag in between, I'm sorry for that, but I hope you enjoy, and then I'll see you on the next one. So take care. Goodbye.